All right, there we go. We've gotten it sorted out. So, once again, this is Jackal with Hotline Mammy Richard's Revenge. Have fun. Good luck on your run.
Hello, I'm Jackal, and this is Hotline. First of all, before we get started, I want to give an important disclaimer that this game contains consistent scenes of high-impact violence and flashing backgrounds. If you're not by any means comfortable in watching this type of content, then I recommend you take a break for like half of an hour. I believe I should be de facto done in 25 minutes or so. So Richard's Revenge is a fan-based mod on the original version or the old version of the game. I'd rather treat it as an actual category and not the standalone game as per SRC standards. I'll try to explain anything else on the fly. Should I hit the start game, the timer will start in 3, 2, 1, go. So Hotline is a 2D top-down slasher shooter where the enemies die in one hit, but so does the player. The enemies act in principle really fast, so you want to be just like that. So regarding the Richard's Revenge, in this game we have masks. The Richard is an iconic mask that normally does not have any special abilities, but not in this mod. Because that's like the entire purpose of this mod, that it combines some of the mask perks into one. So in this mod we will have deadly fists, deadly throws, deadly doors, extended ammo count, consistent one-shot kills because normally enemies have 25% chance to survive a bullet, and some others. So yeah, in this mod we are literally a killing machine that just kills everything it touches. But unfortunately, as I said, the mod is based on the older version of the game that was released originally back in November 2020. That's what we understand. It's an original version of the game. It just brings some of the lowest of the low levels of technical design you can ever imagine. Like, this game was made on Game Maker 7, which was an obsolete instance of that to begin with. And clearly shows in its production values as well. Like, I believe it was made by a whole dozen of people in span of 11 months, and budget closing in whole $250, I believe. But this game, as I say, it's a game maker, so it's a open source engine, and there's a decompiled version of the game. Like, there's a Google Drive disk to that, but unfortunately I can provide you with it now, so you can do your own research when there's a. So there's a decompiled version of the Hotline as well as the game maker, both in one, so you can mod the game as you please. I believe it's written in C++, by the way. So there's a second version of the game as well. It's called the update version. The update version was made on a Fire engine. The mid-tier commercial engine you probably recognize if you're into JRPGs, because some of them are standing on that engine as well. Yeah, so this is the 4th level of the given chapter. We're gonna fight boss, but maybe not. Yeah, whatever. So the original version has the feature, quote unquote, that sometimes you can shoot through transition screens and then just skip that boss fight, and you save like 10 seconds. But I believe that the success rate for that is rather low. I think like 20 to 30%. So in exchange of that arbitrary time save, we have consistent time loss, which is tied to the original version, as you can see by these time screens. They last considerably longer than in update version, I think by like 2 or 3 seconds, somewhere between that. So if you multiply this by 20, because that's how many the screens are, you will get like a 50 seconds of consistent time loss that is tied just to the game version. So amongst many other reasons, we don't run on it normally. Like we only use update version for that purpose. This is a rather hard level, and yeah, it's also give a minute. Yeah, there we go. I want to give a quick headphone warning. If you know Hotline, then you probably not know what's coming on. If you don't, you have 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, boom. This red artifact is also tied to the original version, and it stands for the explosion range, so should your heroes hitbox collide with it, you will die. So as I say, Fire Engine, this is a Meteor commercial engine, which is used by dozens of different JRPGs, like few Neptunia games, Final 13 Remake, Dragon Quest from 2K16, and as well the entire Trace of Cold Steel anthology. So since that's a commercial engine and it's owned by Sony, we have no access, like we can decompile the game. We have only recently we have discovered the way how to mod some of the game's assets, which are sprites and WAV files, but it's just as far as it can go. And we did that only after like 9 months, ever since the update version release. Also, the background for the update version is kind of funny because it was originally meant to be a PS3 port, but then the developers realized that it's more stable than the original version, so they have ported it back to PC. So what are we playing right now? Not right now, because this is the original version. The update version is literally the port of the port. It's a console version of the game, basically. Yeah, so that's another cool feature. If I hack these walls, these people with Fuse will not see me at all. Okay, so we know about background, so look, it's pretty hard to describe what's going on in this thing because, like, I'm finishing the levels really quickly. So on this, on Richard's Revenge, I want to use some more sophisticated strats than I would use in vanilla game. Like, for example, throwing weapons at people and kill them with doors, because it just kills them right away. It gives you a free kill rather than just incapacitates them. Normally, it's a really undesired mechanic because of, you know, people can just get up again. You can actually execute them on the ground as well, but it's, you know, dangerous and also takes time. So this is a cool feature that I can actually kill these big guys like that. It's tied to the Tony mask, Tony the Tiger. And it's a reference to the Tony from the second game, where he's not just a mask, he's an actual person. And he can also kill people with his fists, but he cannot pick up any weapons, and that execution is his only way to get rid of these big guys. and they have like ripped that the assets all together. Like you could, yeah, okay, yeah, that's literally never happened before. Moment, someone clicked that. I can actually try and yeah, there we go. Yeah, so this guy, his movement has no RNG whatsoever. It's entirely dependent on yours, so if you're good at the game like me, then you can just manipulate him. So now I want to make a trick. Cool. You know why I just did that? Because of this. Yeah, so what essentially happened here, the developers knew that you can get stuck inside the wall when you're executing someone, so they just made it as you press space button and you get thrown back in the coordinates afterwards the execution when you have press space, so you can get actually back inside the bounds. But not in this case, because I don't need to press space to execute biker. So if I press the space in the elevator beforehand, I just get teleported. I'll just get teleported there instead. It looks cool, but it says only 5 seconds, I would say. And also I can just... and also it has to be that specific spot, like inside, like make him stack through that table, and not like make him shove that cleaver into the corner, because then I would get a clank. That was like a shabby workaround for him to get, to prevent him getting stuck in geometry. But if I get that clank, then I would just instantly die, because, you know, game maker tier programming. Yeah, I also forgot to mention that throwing kill mechanics is really interesting, because if you throw the weapon at someone, that weapon does not stop. It just goes through and kills everyone else on its way. And the second thing, if you kill someone, they drop the weapon. And if the hitbox of that weapon collides with someone else, they will die as well. Because it's, for some reason, considered as an object thrown by a player. I think they fixed that in the second game. But it's not really a comparison, since both of them are based on a different engine pretty much. I need to focus here. Cool. So in this floor you don't have to actually kill anyone, only at some point 11 out of 14 people. I mean that in some point, because if it just so happens that you kill 11th and 12th enemy at the same time, the game will soft lock, because it only checks if the value is equal and not equal to higher. So either when that happens, you intentionally die to remaining enemies, or you just don't realize that. You just kill them, and then you will never achieve the level ending trigger, so you effectively softlock at that point. Yeah, so hot and heavy is a pretty hard one, and I need to focus there. Kasaki, if you have anything to announce, that would be a good time.
Sure thing. Alright, so just in case, you know, obviously we're here for Go Rescue, but in case you didn't know, on top of monetary donations, Go Rescue is also always in need of supplies to keep the pups happy and healthy. That could be anything from, you know, dried, canned dog food, bleach, cheap paper towels, laundry detergent or furniture, or even vehicles. If you go to GoRescueDogs.com and see your How Can I Help section, you'll find their Amazon wish list, so we can continue to help out those pups.
You could see that on the second screen. I did not achieve the... I did not receive on the middle the stage clear notification. It happens only in the original version in a purely in an arbitrary way. Like, I can't explain why and how does that happen. It just happens. I believe on the update version it's fixed. So yeah, those are all many minor, but many these things that make the original updated version different from the updated one. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention all of the memory leaks. So the original version has memory leaks because GameMaker programming, for most people, it crashes in like period between few to 10 minutes maybe. For some reason, for me, it crashes roughly every 40 minutes, and that's more than enough to actually finish a run of this. I have no idea why does it happen, it just happens. Probably it could be because of integrated CPU, or my... I don't know, or my specifications, I don't know. So because of the crashes, not many people run the game, because only 3 of them and I'm one of them. I have world record for that and it's at 23, I believe. The other 2 people who are running this category is Snowfats and Buffet Time. So Snowfats, if you're familiar already with the speedrunning scene for years, then you probably know him by now. Like, he has had multiple GDQ appearances. And Buffet Time, I believe he was running Alex on a GDQ 23, so also quite a notable persona. So now is for the most boring level in the game, because we're not going to kill anyone. We will just have to escape the hospital. So I just need to click through this dialogue there. Unfortunately, I can't skip it with right click. Like, most of the dialogues in the game can just be skipped in tandem, which is holding right click and tapping the left click, but not this one as an exception. So my movement here is distorted in some way. And if I move too much, I'll get stunned for like 2 seconds. So I want to get stunned in the very specific spots when they will not see me. Also, normally you're supposed on the first floor to pick up the key card, but it does not activate any triggers, just like talking to people in the intermission screens afterwards the level. You can just skip that and save time for free. I can do that, I think, yeah. So there's walls have no check when it comes to executing people or picking stuff through them. So Assault is the hardest level in the game. There might be a very bad thing that may happen on the last 3rd floor. So Assault is another example of horrible programming this game has. Like, my extended ammo counts and consistent one-hit kills do not work. Like, my rifles are supposed to have 32 bullets, but they still have 24. I need to focus, this is a rather difficult floor. It's because the cops were programmed separately and they have just forgot to adjust some values tied to them. I think I forgot someone. So this is a floor with potential crash. Potential. Then I was like half of a second off. So Normally you're supposed to pick up that key and then go to that guy from all over down there. Afterwards, you have killed all of the cops. And if it so happened that I die after punching this guy, the game would show me a consistent crash log. That was the bad thing that could happen there, and I'm glad it didn't. So now for the second to last level for the main protagonist. Also, the guys on idle animation also have wrong ammo counts. Again, I got a 24 rifle. You could see at the beginning that these melee enemies were just gluing into walls, and this is really awkward. On update version, they have added sort of no-go zones for them, which is determined by the tiles next to walls. This is where pet fighting cannot find you, and in that way they have fixed, some of the most notable pathfinding problems. They have introduced all the other ones, generally speaking, but yeah. So this is a very hard. So this is rather a awkward fight because this panther, specifically for this mod, needs 3 hits to be killed rather than 2. And now I can't kill the boss in a quick way. I have to hide behind the pillar because of... Yeah, he got stuck again. Yeah, so normally what should happen is that the boss does not have an animation of pulling out his SMG, so he will just instantly shoot right away. However, there's a chance. There's a small chance, like, I don't know, 20-30% maybe, that the animation will play, but the bullets will not ever spawn. But it's only true for the first time. Like if you hit him once, then that will get fixed for the second instance. So that concludes the levels of the main character, and now we're going to play the other one. And it's this guy you probably saw doing funny in 7th chapter. Okay, so his playstyle is quite different. First of all, he cannot pick up enemy weapons, but he has some of the weapons of his own. It's the meat cleaver and the fruit throwing knives of perfect accuracy. He also moves 15% faster. The previous protagonist could move 30% faster because there's a Brandon mask we normally use for NG+0 levels in vanilla game, and it's proven to be the fastest one. So now some perks have been transitioned to biker because game maker programming. So I am still retaining deadly doors and deadly domino knockdown kills. As you can probably see, right. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but you know what I mean. I hope. Cool. So that was the last actual level of the game, and there are 2 more to go, but they serve only for story concluding purposes. Like, there's nothing really technical about them except for one more thing. So as you can see, NG+0 levels is something we can also refer to no major glitches. because we use only like 3 skips. And it's not like they skip some hard part of the game, they just skip walking and that's it. So another feature, quote unquote, title original, you cannot kill that man with a throwing knife. On the update version you can. So here's the last speed tech. I want to execute him like that and then clip through the wall like that. The important thing is to turn around in 90-degree radius, because the milder the arc is, the less chance you have to connect with the clip. And also if you do that in quote-unquote too good of a way, then you will soft lock, because he will just go too deep into the wall. Also the time is coming up when I lose control over him as he touches the motorbike, as he goes back. There we go, it's the time. We did it.
GG, congrats on the run.
Thanks. May I know what my final time was?
One moment. Let's see. It was 24:46.
Yeah, that's a good one. As I expected, like 25 minutes. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, it was a great run.
Thank you. So if you care to check out that mod, then on speedrun.com, if you enter Richard's Revenge, there's a zip file with the executable. You just copy paste that executable into your folder. And if your antivirus trains protest, then it's a bogus report, just so you know. Because if it wasn't, then you know, I wouldn't be running that game to begin with. Yeah, so thank you for having me, everyone. Thanks for watching this. I hope you liked it. And if you didn't, then there's Osborne right up ahead, and I believe he's guaranteed to put up a considerably better show than I just did. And
no,
when
your
it comes
show
to
was
me,
fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Look, I'm tired. It's like almost at 4 a.m. for me. I have to go. Thank you, everyone, again, and hopefully we'll see you anytime soon.
No problem at all. Thank you so much, Jackal. Yeah, with that, we'll go back to just a quick break real quick. That way we can let Jackal get on and get on to bed. Alright. So that was a great Amy Richards Revenge. Up next, we have Osmore with Gunbrella coming up here in just a few, once we get everything sorted out and ready for it. However, one thing I do want to let you know while we have a moment, and if you weren't aware, we do have incentives open that will let you affect what happens during the marathon tomorrow night. The first one that we have is for Spin Rhythm XD with Selkooth Mind. We need to raise $60, and Cell will have to sight read a boss song that she recently unlocked. And then for Sonic Generations, we can raise $80 for that incentive. They will play all of the Sonic Unleashed day stages. So, those are both amazing feats that you'll want to see, so make sure as you get your donations in, you are putting them towards our polls and targets, because you can select both of them. You do not have to pick one or the other. So, and what you can do is just put in !donate in the chat, like I just did, and it'll give you a nice little link so you can get those donations in. Alright, and now another reminder that I want to give you now that we're raising funds here for Go Rescue. The Go Rescue website has its own section for adoption success stories. Please go check out gorescuedogs.com/success stories for some adorable pictures and heartwarming tales. Alright, but also one thing I just want to remind you all, because we are many hours deep into the runs for today, please make sure that you are taking breaks as needed, stretch your legs out, hydrate. If you have medication you need to take, by all means, please do so. So, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Self-care is extremely important, and it's really easy to forget about it, so make sure you're taking care of yourselves. Alright, but we are just going to go to a quick break while we get everything set up. I will be right back with y'all in just a few.